This bonus episode is brought to you by Nurtec ODT Rimegepant, 75 milligrams, orally disintegrating tablets.
Hey, this is Jason Alexander for Visible Wireless. You know, some wireless companies say they have no yada yada, but details matter. You should know what you're signing up for, so yada yada, I'm reading this ad for Visible. On the Visible plan, get one line of wireless on Verizon's 5G network for $25 a month every month. That's unlimited data, text, talk, and hotspot for $25 a month, all taxes and fees included, no surprises, like some other guys. Learn more about Visible Wireless and Visible's data management practices at visible.com. Additional terms apply.
Hi, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about comediennes, women throughout history who've made us laugh. They transgressed societal norms through comedy and often spoke out against injustice using their sharp wit. Today we're talking about a pioneering woman in broadcast entertainment. During her career, she wrote more than 10,000 scripts for television and radio, without a co-writer, and created one of the first television sitcoms. Let's talk about Peg Lynch. Margaret Frances Lynch was born in Lincoln, Nebraska on November 25, 1916. After her father passed away during the 1918 flu pandemic, her mother moved the family to Minnesota. Their town may have been small, but it was close to the Mayo Clinic, a world-famous hospital. While still in high school, Margaret worked 2 jobs. She was a receptionist for the Mayo Clinic, and she was a copywriter and interviewer for a local radio station, KROC. Margaret used her access to the clinic to interview celebrities who were there for treatment. Listeners of KROC got first-hand accounts from baseball great Lou Gehrig and writer Ernest Hemingway, celebrities who would typically only talk to major stations. Margaret graduated from high school when she was just 16 years old. Around the same time, she sold her first script to a radio station. In 1937, Margaret graduated from the University of Minnesota with a degree in English with an emphasis on writing and dramatics. Margaret, who now went by Peg, then took a job as a copywriter for KATE-AM in Albert Lea, Minnesota. At KATE, Peg wrote more than 200 weekly commercial spots, along with a daily women's show, a weekly theater show, and a weekly farm show. She also wrote multiple sketches and plays for the station. Among those sketches came her most popular show, Ethel and Albert. The Ethel and Albert show had a simple premise: a husband and wife having humorous yet mundane household conversations. Often, the episodes revolved around one trying to prove the other wrong. The first version of the show was a radio commercial. Peg realized the husband and wife format was adaptable in many scenarios, and listeners related to the characters. Ethel and Albert became a hit, and Peg brought the characters with her to every station at which she worked. After short stints in Virginia and Maryland, Peg moved to New York City in 1944 in the hopes of bringing Ethel and Albert to a bigger audience. Peg got her wish 1 month after her move. NBC Radio wanted to produce Ethel and Albert with a 50-50 ownership split. Peg refused. She believed in her show and herself and would not relinquish control to a network. A few months later, Peg received an offer from the Blue Network, the precursor to ABC, for a 5-day-a-week, 15-minute national radio show. Peg would retain complete control and ownership of Ethel and Albert. She couldn't refuse. The show underwent a lengthy audition process to find the perfect Ethel, but none of the smooth-talking actresses fit the nasal, Midwestern Ethel that Peg had created. So she continued to play the character herself. The show premiered on April 17, 1944, and became an instant success, eventually expanding to a 30-minute slot in its final year on the radio. 5 years and 1,340 scripts later, the show transitioned to television. In 1950, Ethel and Albert was given a twice-weekly 10-minute segment on NBC's The Kate Smith Hour, before expanding to its own 30-minute show in 1953. TV shows looked a little different in the 1950s than they do today. Many of them were filmed and broadcast live. Actors would forget lines or cues, or they might be thrown off by the live audience. Peg said her comedic timing was thrown off by the live audience and once had to ad-lib when an actor left the set. TV shows were also at the behest of the sponsor. If a sponsor pulled or the contract ran out, the show would be canceled. Ethel and Albert ran on NBC until it was canceled in 1954. Because Peg owned the rights, she was able to give the TV show not just a second life, but a third one too. Ethel and Albert Arbuckle found a home on CBS and then ABC before they were canceled on television for good. By that time, Peg had lost the right to the characters' names, but not to the premise. She was able to revive the show back on the radio as The Couple Next Door. Peg continued to bring back the characters through the 1970s in radio shows and commercials. In total, she wrote more than 11,000 scripts during her career. Peg Lynch passed away on July 24, 2015, at the age of 98. She created the mold for the modern sitcom and inspired a generation of female comedy writers. All month, we're talking about Comediennes. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
If you're prescribed Nurtec ODT, rimegepant 75 milligrams for migraine attacks, does the fear of running out of medication stop you from treating every migraine attack? If so, ask about 2 8-packs per month. That's 16 tablets, and most insurance plans cover it.
Nurtec ODT is approved for the acute treatment of migraine attacks and preventive treatment of episodic migraine in adults. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT or any of its ingredients. Allergic reactions can occur even days after using and include trouble breathing, rash, and swelling of the face, mouth, tongue, or throat. Most common side effects were nausea and indigestion stomach pain. A maximum dose of 75 milligrams can be taken daily to treat migraine attacks or every other day to prevent them. The safety of using more than 18 doses of Nurtec ODT in a 30-day period has not been established. For full prescribing information, call 1-8334-NURTEC or visit Nurtec.com.
Double the packs to treat more migraine attacks. Ask your doctor if 2 8-packs of Nurtec ODT is right for you.
At Ford, we pride ourselves on building strong, capable vehicles. But we're only as strong as the people who drive them. People like you, who don't just see an F-150, but see what they can build with it. Because built Ford proud, it's a pact between us, our drivers, and what we can do together. Built Ford proud.
Some models, trims, and features may not be available or may be subject to change.
No one likes to talk about money. Am I saving enough? Can I buy a house? Am I paying too much in taxes? Will I be able to retire? What if you could unlock insights about your finances in less than 5 minutes with a clear picture of where you stand today and where your money can work harder? Now you can. Visit Facet.com to take the free quiz and get your financial wellness score today. That's FACET.com. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth Incorporated is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.